Welcome to today's episode of Acro Yoga with Super Dave. Our pose for today is sidestar. And for my flyer today, I have Joanne over here. She's already in a pose that we have to understand in order to understand sidestar. This is called half moon pose in yoga. Notice just the stacking of the hips and the stacking of the shoulder. So you want your whole body into one plane. That's what you want to keep in mind while we do sidestar as well. Thanks, Joanne. And then coming into sidestar, we're going to start off in front plank. Okay, so my feet are parallel in front plank. I need to change them. So for the base, you're turning your toes out, and then you're walking them off to the side of her hip so that she can roll. From here, she begins to roll. She can place her hands onto my thighs. This is just to prevent the flyer from falling forward. And then lifting the leg. Okay, so notice she's not going into arch. My toes will start to spin, and she's just kind of riding the wave. It's almost like riding your bicycle. Right? You want to learn that sweet spot where you can find your balance. And then I'll spin back in. So I grab my hand. Then we're going to pivot onto the other side. So I turn my toes out. I use my right foot to shift her hips over. So I'm really helping her out here.
Thanks, Dave.
You're welcome. And when she finds her balance, she'll reach her arms up. Good. And then coming back into front plank. Okay, once you get used to that, then do it without hands, so you don't need any support of the base's hand. The flyer will just drop the arm. She'll roll her hip. Once again, I use my left foot to help her hip stack. And then she uses her hand there to give that additional roll of the hip. And I'll begin to turn out my leg. Good. Switching on to the other side. So I bend the knee a lot, and I use my right foot to scoop her hip. Start to straighten out my leg. And then I turn my toes so my toes are pointing forward as if I'm holding someone in front plank. Okay, coming back in, onto front plank, and down. Thank you. Okay, so this is going to be a frustrating move for those who are starting. I know when I first started doing sidestar, it was very aggravating and frustrating, but just like riding a bike, once you start to learn the position of the hips, once you start to find your balance on that particular posture, then it gets a lot easier. Okay, thank you for joining me today. Tune in tomorrow for our next Acro Yoga pose.